You feel stuck, even though you know you're capable of more. How do you know that you're capable of more? It's because you want more. You can never seem to get out of your own way. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you lack discipline. Not because you don't know what to do. In fact, you know what to do, and that's what makes it so frustrating. You have read the books. You've listened to the podcasts. You've had the realizations. You can see the gap between where you are and where you want to be, and somehow you keep finding yourself in the same patterns, the same relationships, the same fears, the same excuses, the same cycles. For a long time, I thought that was a discipline problem. Then I thought it was a motivation problem. Then I thought it was a healing problem. What I've come to realize is that for many people, it's actually something else. You're trying to operate from a growth mindset while your body is still operating from survival. Those two things create very different lives. Survival isn't what people think it is. When most people hear the word survival, they imagine crisis, rock bottom, trauma, everything falling apart. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the woman who looks completely fine on the outside and handles everything. She's the reliable one. You're the capable one, the strong one, the woman everyone depends on, the woman who gets things done. Yet internally, she's exhausted, not physically, like soul exhausted, tired from constantly managing emotions, managing responsibilities, managing expectations, other people's reactions, uncertainty, disappointment, and just life. In fact, that's what you say. It's just life. After enough years of operating that way, survival becomes normal. You stop realizing how much energy you're spending protecting yourself. You stop realizing how much of your life is organized around avoiding pain, rejection, failure, conflict, avoiding disappointment, uncertainty. Survival asks one question: how do I stay safe? Everything gets filtered through that lens. While that strategy may have helped you survive a season of your life, eventually it starts limiting the growth you're capable of creating. Now, what growth mindset actually is. Having a growth mindset, I believe, is so misunderstood. People think it means being positive all the time, thinking happy thoughts, pretending things don't hurt, like the toxic positivity. The thing is, what you resist persists. That's not how you grow through things, by pretending that they're not there and they don't hurt. That's not what it means. A growth mindset is the belief that change is possible. You know where you are. You are aware of your circumstances. You also know where you want to be. That who you are today does not have to determine who you become tomorrow. It's the willingness to learn, to adapt, fail, grow, evolve. Survival asks, how do I avoid discomfort? What if I fail? How do I protect myself? While growth asks you, what can this teach me? What if I learn? How do I build myself? One is focused on preservation, the other is focused on expansion. Here is the important part. You cannot build a bigger life while your entire system is focused on protection. That's what fitness taught me. Where it's changed my life is not because of the aesthetics or the abs or that I wanted to look a certain way. I wanted to rise above my circumstances that I had been born into. I wanted proof that my future didn't have to look like my past. It gave me buildable evidence. It gave me evidence that I desperately needed, that I could show up for myself, that I could be consistent, that I was worth putting in the work, repeating. The results follow, not instantly or dramatically, consistently and reliably. Fitness taught me that change was possible. The effort mattered. The consistency mattered. My actions had consequences, positive consequences. For years, I thought fitness was teaching me how to build a body. Looking back, I think it was teaching me how to build a life. Because every workout reinforced the same lesson. You can change, you can adapt, you could become more than you are today. And that lesson eventually extended far beyond the gym. There's still a problem. Knowing I could change didn't automatically create the change. That's where self-leadership came in. Fitness taught me that I could change. Self-leadership taught me that I was responsible for that change. There's a massive difference between wanting a different life and taking responsibility for creating one. Self-leadership is the moment you stop waiting for confidence, waiting for certainty, waiting for motivation, waiting for someone else to save you. It's the moment you realize your future belongs to you, even when it's hard or unfair, when you're scared. especially when you're scared, especially then when it's hard. Because healing still matters. Eventually, I discovered something else. There were still places where I wasn't moving forward, not because I didn't know how, not because I wasn't disciplined, because there were survival patterns running underneath. People pleasing, perfectionism, hyperdependence, overfunctioning, fear of disappointment, fear of rejection. Healing helped me see those patterns, not so I could stay stuck talking about them forever, so I could stop mistaking them for who I was. Because survival isn't your identity, it's an adaptation. Once you see the adaptation, you gain the ability to choose differently. Today, I believe people aren't struggling because they lack potential. They're struggling because they're trying to build a future while operating from patterns designed to protect the past. Those are very different things. Fitness taught me that I could change. Self-leadership taught me that I was responsible for that change. Healing taught me what was standing in the way of that change. Purpose gave that change direction. Becoming is what happened when I stopped letting survival decide who I could be. If you've ever felt like you were meant for something more, but you couldn't seem to get out of your own way, maybe you're not broken. Maybe you simply spent years learning how to survive. Now life is asking you to learn how to grow, because survival helps you endure life. Growth helps you build it.